I've had a few requests where subscribers wanted me to talk about how to grow a really nice turf. So whenever the subscribers want something, I set out to do it. I have a cousin. They just built a new home in Macomb, Michigan, and we're going to use her home. So this is a family member, my cousin and her family. So this is the front yard, and we'll walk in the backyard. But we're going to spray everything down with Buccaneer Plus. You can get this at an elevator. That I buy it at our local elevator, 2.5 gallon jug. It's in a concentrate. I mix it 6 ounces per gallon. And then this is key. This really, and I have no relationship with this company. We're not a distributor of their product or anything. You definitely want, this is a bag that zips up. That's, you got a shoulder harness, and we'll show you how to use it as we move forward. But that's a must. There's a couple of things that I consider a must for success. That'd be one of them. So they've already been working really, really hard. I like what they got here. They've been giving it a really good rough rake. And I always tell everybody, if it's a golf ball size or bigger, get it out of there, because you'll feel it when you're walking on your turf grass. But don't sweat the 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. Like, you get little stones like that. Anything that fits between rake tines, you're never going to feel it. You're never going to know it's there. Don't even worry about it. So, all right, so see how the weeds are popping up? We got to spray. Now, I know guys that know what they're doing, they're going to tell you this. Well, when the weeds pop through, next year when I weed and feed, I'll get them. That is true. But the grass varieties, that's a different story. So we have those. Here in the north, we don't like this. These wide-bladed grasses, these wild field grasses. Guess what? Weed and feed does not get that. The only thing that gets that is veg kill. So once you have turf growing, and if you didn't spray and kill all that nasty stuff, here's a different variety right here. Nasty. See, so if you just rake everything out, put some topsoil down, seed it, and you leave that, your weed and feed won't get any grass varieties. It only takes care of weeds. If it killed a grass variety, well, then it would kill your grass seed. So spray and kill it, because there's nothing worse than having beautiful, beautiful turf, and then you get these aggressive growing field grasses that pop up through your turf like 3 days after you mowed the lawn, and they're like already 4 inches tall. So veg kill twice. Do it once, wait 5 days, do it again. And I like to use a tracker. I'm going to bring her some waterfall dye for water features, or pond dye. I like to put blue pond dye in the spray tank with the veg kill, so I can see where I sprayed already. Because you can kind of get twisted around in the middle of your weeds. And then I like to use Dawn dish soap, and yes, it has to be Dawn. I've been doing it for 30 years. A good squirt of Dawn in every pump sprayer. And now, if like a rainstorm comes through, the poison, the veg kill, won't wash off. So that's a safe veg kill. That's safe to use, and you can grow grass 10 days after putting that down. So when they get the topsoil spread and we get to the point of seeding, I'll be back, and I'll fill you guys in, keep you going, so that you have success in growing your own turf grass. If you have an elevator in reasonable driving range, I highly recommend that you go to the elevator. Believe it or not, most homeowners don't even know what an elevator is. And I can understand that. If you grew up in a subdivision and not on a farm, they supply all the fertilizer guys with their they make it right there. They mix it as well as seed. So the farmers all go there they'll order exactly what they need for their crops, and they'll get that made at the elevator. So this is the Washington elevator in Washington, Michigan, and I go there for all kinds of stuff. I will do a series on how to take care of your ponds, and I go to the elevator for those products. So you can see this automated, it's fully automated. It's just unbelievable. This will continue to stack that pallet, and then it'll switch to the other side where they'll eventually come with a skid loader or a high-low, grab that pallet that's done, and replace it with just an empty pallet, and it just keeps alternating left to right, left to right. So I just wanted to show you guys this. But if you go to the elevator, you're going to save so much money, and you're not going to be tempted to buy those gimmicks on the shelf. When you go in the Home Depot and all these other places, and they have this patch lawn and all kinds of crazy stuff, you name it, anything they can sell you, they got it on the shelf. You go to the elevator, and you're only dealing with the real deal. Now, the fertilizer that I recommend is the 12-12-12 when you're just starting out growing a new turf. So I picked up some 12-12-12, but I don't like to put it down until the grass seed actually germinates, and I'm going to put it down extremely light. Again, I just wanted to show you this. I wanted to educate you about the elevators and see if you have one near you, or just, you know, for a nice drive on a Saturday. They're usually open till noon on Saturday. So again, keep that in mind. Stay away from the gimmicks. Buy direct if you can. Go right to the elevator. Save a lot of money. All right, well, got 100 pounds of seed, some 12-12-12. Got back seat full of the straw as well. At the elevator, Washington elevator. Alright, so back from the elevator. Got some topsoil under the tarp. The homeowner here has been on top of things. Sprayed a couple of times. There was a couple of rounds, and then they raked anything that was like an inch or bigger for rocks out. You don't have to worry about those little rocks, the ½ inch, 3/4 inch. Just let them go. Anything that goes between the rake tines, let it go. When this is a nice, lush, thick lawn, you're not going to feel it. So look at the back. Look how beautiful this is. Look at how beautiful this is. Really nice. Put a layer of topsoil down. This is how you want to prep your yard. Nice layer of topsoil. Because we have all clay here, but we can grow beautiful, beautiful bluegrass. Just put a little topsoil down. All right, DIYers, I want you to know just how important straw is. That's what this whole video is going to be about. I'm going to take you out on many sites, multiple sites. I'm going to show you jobs with straw, jobs without straw, just to show you how important it is to put down straw. It's as important as the grass seed itself. If you don't put down straw, you're honestly just wasting all that time, all your sweat equity, all the money that you spent in the seed, because it's just going to blow around. Birds are going to eat it. If it germinated, it's just going to dry out. If you now see where there's some patches of topsoil, I want to point this out. This is my cousin's house, and we're using it for this series. And her husband Tom is doing a great job. This guy he's worked his tail off. We actually went back and got some more straw, and they put it over those areas where you just see topsoil. So the results are fabulous. We'll get to that. Hang in there. But I want to get this done for you DIYers so that you can prep, get your seed down, and straw. And don't put any fertilizer down at that point. Wait until you start to see sprouts. So I'll help you with that as well. So let me take you into just some different job locations, results with straw and results without straw. All right, grass seed was put down on this yard, and I just wanted to show you guys. See, it's a brand new house, beautiful house, but and they slit seed it, and there's like spots where you can see where a couple, you can see some grass plants, a few grass plants and spots, but for the most part, because there was no straw here, it didn't take. You know, like they got a couple grass plants, not much going on. See, the weeds actually came in, but look at the grass where there was a straw netting. Look at that. So you can see the difference that the straw makes. There's a lot of grass seed coming in here. I mean, it's just amazing. Remember, the straw holds moisture and it keeps the seed in place so that it doesn't wash into the little low areas and the birds can't get at it. So the straw's doing many, many things. And then when it biodegrades, it feeds it like a fertilizer. All right, so I want to show you what happens when you don't use straw. So straw wasn't used here. You can see there's a couple little, but look. So when you water it, it just, there's always going to be like little low areas, little potholes. I mean, no matter how perfect you grade this, the water's going to run and lay somewhere. Now, right in here, you can see there's a lot of seed that germinated because it all washed into that pothole. Now, the crabgrass is no threat, and this is crabgrass because you can get that with your pre-emergent in the spring. And then this is nut sedge, which is pretty popular in the north here. So, you know what? Don't even worry about that. Like, winter's going to kill that off. So, but you can see with no straw down to protect the seed from washing away and birds, wind blowing it away. You know, you just have these areas that were low-lying. You can see every low-lying area. There's just a little chia pet. So you want to put your grass seed down, you want to rake it in really good, and you want to cover it with a really good layer of straw. That's going to hold the seed down, it's going to hold it in place. When it germinates, it's also going to allow it to stay moist. You don't want a new seedling that just germinated to have direct sun hit it. It'll just dry out, it'll just kill it. You can just see all the seed that's washed down in here. You got some popping now, but this has to be done again, and this needs to be done with straw. This was a lot of hard work to get nowhere, basically. You definitely want to be generous when it comes to the straw. It is such an important part. You don't want to see any of the dirt. You don't want to see any topsoil. You know, you want it all covered. See, the grass is going to grow right up through the straw, no problem. And over time, this straw is just going to biodegrade. It's going to feed all of the grass plants. So everything that germinates, everything that's germinating, this straw, like today got to 85 for, you know, for September weather. That's on the hot side. So if a grass plant germinates and we go into that kind of heat without the straw to protect it, it's such a tiny, small grass plant that it's just going to end up, the sun will actually just cook it, kill it. And just that one hot day is all it takes. So this was done a few weeks ago, this section here. So it's much further along. But you can see a lot of the straw has biodegraded. Now in another week, this is going to be really lush. It's going to start filling in nice. Quite a difference since the last been here. So my cousin's husband Tom, he really busted his butt on this. He graded everything by hand. See, now, because they got straw right here, when it rains, and you can see it's been raining, there's a shingle gravel off the roof. Didn't wash that out. Now, they have been watering because we got a week of about 80 degrees, and I said, hey, man, like, that sets grass off. It just pops. And so I said, go ahead and water it. Look at all this grass. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at it. It's fine because it's so young. 2 weeks. You can just move the straw and it's just full. So as this turf matures, you can see the grass just pushing where the straw was real heavy. Look at that. Just pushing it. Look at that. 2 weeks. There's so many grass plants. Young and thin, but this is going to be a great turf. Now, let's remember all the golden rules. 1, if you do it in the fall, you're competing with less weeds. If you do it in the summer, you're competing with the weeds, period, and you will lose. You want to spray it twice. Spray it once and then go over whatever you think you missed. Man, I can't wait to come back in a week. This place is going to be just one solid, beautiful blanket. Now, it looks real good. Really, really good. It's coming along very, very well. So they put down the seed, and then they took a rake, flipped it upside down, and kind of worked it in the topsoil a little bit. Then they went ahead and put seed over it again, and then they just went ahead and put this shredded straw over it. So it doesn't matter if it's shredded straw. I prefer to shredded straw. It doesn't blow away. Lays once you water. God, look at it. Everything's going off. I mean, there's just young plants everywhere. They're like threads. Here's a chia pet. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So this turf is well on its way. Now, when you buy topsoil, here's the bad news. Here you just sprayed it 2 times in a row, and you killed off all the weeds and wild grasses. Whatever seeds come in that topsoil you bought, you just inherited. So keep that in mind. You know, it's probably not a bad idea to put your kill everything with veg kill, you know, good vegetation killer, and then go ahead and put your topsoil down a few weeks ahead of time and see what grows out of that, and then spray it and kill it. So that's not bad advice. So 2 weeks and it looks great. The straw is every bit as important as the grass seed itself. I always tell people that. I wish I would have learned it at a much younger age as a contractor. Man, just look at that. So now here's, you know, just more helpful hints. This lawn will not need an irrigation system. When you buy sod at the sod farm, this is, you know, the one next door here is sod. When you have grass that has been cut off from some sod farm, once they cut those roots off, it never ever roots the same again. Fact. Sod is a living rug. Fact. It needs twice the water, maybe 3 times the water as a seeded lawn. This lawn will also handle drought stress, go dormant, and then just come right back when the rain turns back on. Where sod doesn't come back, if you don't have a sprinkler system, it just dries up and dies. So there's so many advantages to seed. Saves you money for the life of the home and your water bill. You can opt out of dealing with all these sprinkler systems that got to be started up, blown out, repaired after every winter, and it's just another expense, another headache. If you want to run a sprinkler in July, August, because you love your grass really, really green, and it's not a big deal to do so. And if you still want to go ahead and put a sprinkler system in, well, it comes down to, you know, if the funds are there, the allowance is there, and if, you know, you want to keep up with the Joneses and you want to have one of the nicest, lushest lawns on the block. So we will check back in another week. But the straw is so important. Otherwise, this seed just would have blown away the birds would have got at it. When it rained or watered, it would have just washed in some low areas. There'd be a few little chia pet looking things, and everything else would be bald. When a young seed germinates, it just dries up. When there's no cloud cover, like today we got cloud cover, but when the sun's shining, you got direct UV rays, and a little seed germinates. Guess what? It's not a big enough plant to, it just dies. It just dries up and dies. This straw holds the moisture, keeps it damp, protects the grass seed when it germinates, makes sure all your germinated grass seed survives. I mean, just plus, plus, plus. All right, guys, until the next video.
Be sure to give us a thumbs up if you want me to keep doing these videos.